We've all struggled with the driver. Everybody. It's a hard club to hit. We've struggled with hitting big slices, big hooks, just depends on the player. We've struggled with this club, and sometimes it's hard to know what we need to do to bring it back. I'm going to walk you through 4 steps to improve your driver. There's just 4 things you need to be looking for, or 4 things you might need to change or work on to improve the driver. But what I mainly want to give you is a guide to figure out why you're struggling. So either A, you can seek instruction, B, you can fix it yourself. Okay, so let's discuss this. Let's walk you through this. Let's get started. All right, so I'm going to have TrackMan on the screen here. You probably already see it. And I'm going to let you see the shots, obviously, because I'm indoors. It's pretty cold today. Not very good for hitting outdoors today. But I'm going to walk you through some of these things to look for. The first thing I want you to look for is contact. Okay, so what I want you to do is athlete's foot spray. Okay, make sure it says powder spray. Buy the cheapest one. You get them on Amazon in a pretty good pack. I'd buy a pack of them just because it's cheaper that way. It's just good. So spray your club face. Okay, and hit a couple shots. Now, I may or may not I have a test that I may run you through, kind of quizzing your knowledge, but I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to give you a lot of the answers to that test today anyway, so I may or may not do that. But let's understand what happens when we miss-hit the ball, or we miss-hit the ball in the club face. So the more you strike it in the heel, the more of a left or right curve you can put a fade or a slice pattern you're going to have. So anything off the center line towards your heel is going to produce a fade bias shot or a hook or a slice bias shot. Vice versa, if you hit it more towards the toe, it's going to do more of a draw or hook bias. So you can use that to your advantage if you struggle. So for example, if you're a slicer, if you slice the golf ball, you don't want to hit it in the heel, and that's the first thing I'm going to tell you to check. So that's number 1. Check contact. Check where it is, because if you're a slicer, we have to get it off the heel. That's only going to make things worse. So we need to hit the ball anywhere from the middle, I would say maybe just a little bit off right here to over towards the toe, because that's going to correct your slice when you have a miss hit. So if you do have a missed contact, which we all do, we want to miss it more towards the toe than the heel, because the heel is going to make it worse. Vice versa, if you hook the ball really bad, we want to miss it more towards the heel instead of the toe, because it's only going to make it worse. So a lot of times, the first thing I have to look at is contact, because we can fix face, path, all the other stuff we're about to talk about here in a minute. But if you can't get the contact better, it's going to be hard to make the change, because the contact's causing a lot of the problems. So we need to make some adjustments. Now, sometimes path can affect it. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But let's be aware of contact first. Sometimes you can make a simple adjustment. You're good to go, right? So let's pay attention to contact first, right? Again, I'll reiterate that again. If you're hitting it towards the heel, make sure you move it, or if you're hitting a slice and you're hitting it on the heel, make sure you move it more towards the toe. Vice versa, if you're hitting a hook and your toe in your shots, make sure to move it more towards middle to slightly towards the heel. I'm talking about your misses. Obviously, I think you should hit it in the middle, 100%. But if you're going to have a miss, it needs to miss to the correct side. So that's number 1. So let me hit a shot here just to kind of show you how this works, and I'll kind of show you my pattern. I'll just hit a couple here. See how that ball was. Pretty good shot for me. That was actually a really, really good shot for me. I think you can see this, but it was pretty much right in the middle right there, so that's good. I tend to cut the ball, so for me to miss it in the heel is not good. It makes it way worse, okay? So I don't mind playing a fade. I like playing a fade, but when my fades get bad is when I start heeling it. So I always try to make sure my misses are a little bit more towards the toe. So I have to line up accordingly. So if you notice when I line up here, this is just me personally. You got to find your way of getting in the middle. I tend to line it a little bit more towards the toe just to make sure I don't bring the heel into play. A little bit better swing there. That ball's dead straight. That was a good ball. And you can see, man, and this is pretty unusual for me to hit it that centered. Usually I tend to struggle towards the heel a little bit, but when I practice, I move it over. So you can see those last 2 shots are pretty good. Okay. So step one. Step two, let me put this on the screen here real quick. All right, taking a look at face angle and launch direction. Now, I tend to swing left in my path, and I think I'm aimed a little left too, which is fine. It's kind of hard to line up in here. I tend to swing a little left so I can hit what we call a true fade. A true fade is a ball that starts left to your target and then comes back to your target. That's a true fade. So to get the ball to start left, we have to have a path that's a little bit out to in. So moving left through impact. It's not over the top, it's just moving left. Moving left so that I can hit this nice fade. Now here's the deal. If my face gets too far open, second thing is face, right? Then I'm gonna have a big fade. I'm gonna have too big of a cut. So the bigger the difference between your path and your face, the more curve. Now, let me say this though. Face angle is your second thing. And here's what you have to understand. 90% on a driver of where the ball starts, their starting direction, so you'll see launch direction, is controlled by the club face at impact. So wherever your face is pointed at impact is where the ball is going to start. It depends on the club, or depends on the loft on the driver, but it's only 10% of your path controls where the ball starts. Now, your path has to do with which way the ball is curving and maybe how much it's curving, but starting direction is controlled by the club face. So the second biggest thing we see with people struggling with their driver is they have no control over the club face, or they don't understand that if they have a big slice or a big hook, it's a face control problem first. Then it's a path control problem second, if you're talking about face versus path, okay? So if you see on this one, you see my launch direction is -3 and my face angle is -3. So in that case, it was a 1-to-1 ratio, the exact same. I don't think it's always that perfect, but that was pretty good to show you that the ball started 3 degrees left of my target and my launch direction from 3 degrees left of the target. So that was a pretty good example. Let me hit another one here. See if you can see another example of that. A little bit closer to my line. It's probably going to be no, that was actually all right. That was pretty good. In that case, my face angle was essentially 0.4. -0.2. So there's a better gap to see right there. So face angle controls everything. So if you have a ball if you're a slicer and the ball starts right and goes right, your face was aimed over there. Okay, so that means on the downswing, we've got to get that club face squaring up. Okay, there's so much to cover of why maybe you're slicing it. That's a huge topic, and there's just so many different things that can cause it. It's not complicated, but I can't necessarily narrow it down to one thing or two things. So we've got to get that club face squaring up at impact. It's just too far open. Okay, now that's assuming you have better contact first, because even if I square the club face up, but I hit it on the heel, it's most likely it's gonna start more left and then go more right because of the gear effect when you hit it on the heel, right? So contact first, that's why I said that first. Second is you gotta control your club face. You gotta get that club face squaring up. That controls the starting direction, okay? Let me try to hit a bad one that's a pull, or I'll tell you what, I'll hit a slice, okay? I'm gonna get here and I'm gonna have a little bit of an open club face, and you'll see that that's gonna control it's gonna control the starting direction here. So here. That ball well right of the net. You're going to see on the screen the ball start right. It went right. My face angle was 8.9 degrees open. Okay, so face angle. So that's a typical shot for a lot of golfers. Now, it'll go this way with a negative path, which that's not the biggest problem really for a big slice. It's going to make the ball, you're going to have to play a ball that fades, that starts from left to right because of the path. But your biggest problem is we'll see a massive over the top with a wide open club face, and that's what produces this massive curve and this big slice. Vice versa, if you're really underneath swinging way into out, but but you close the club face too much on the downswing, meaning the ball will start on your target line or left of your target line, and then it just overhooks, it's club face. So we got to get that club face pointing more down our target line or pointing more down our path. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is path. So your path is important to create the correct curve, right? And to diminish how much curve is in the golf ball. Now we're going to assume center contact here for just a minute, just make some assumptions. So assuming you're making center contact, if you're way over the top this way and you match your face with the path, then you're going to hit a pull. So basically a pull is a ball that starts left, it's dead straight, but it starts left. Vice versa, if you swing way into out and you square your club face up to your path, then you're going to hit a dead block. It's going to be straight, but it's a block. Okay, so when you start getting a difference between your path you're swinging and the face angles when you get curved. So for example, if I'm over the top, I'm swinging left, let's say my path is -3, negative is left, positive is right, or -4, but my face is +2. Well, my face was pointing 2 degrees open to the target line, but my path is moving 4 degrees left of the target line. So there's a big gap. So you got one going this way, one going that way. So that's why there's such a big curve. To make that curve less, you've got to bring, let's say you have your path here, right, and your face is here. You got to bring your face closer to your path. Changing face angle is a little bit easier than changing path, okay? You need to make sure you seek instruction to fix path. We're not covering that necessarily in here. Do an online lesson with us. If you can come see us, come see us. If you're not anywhere close and you don't like doing online lessons, find your local PGA professional. We support the game. Go to whoever that can help you the most. But we've got to get those two closer together. That's your problem, is you can't have too big of a separation. So I think the easiest way is just to change your face. Get your face square. Even if it's a pull or even if it's a big block, get your club face square through the impact zone to your path, and that'll fix the big curve problem. Okay, now if you have a severely over the top or a severely end out, that would be the next thing I would cover. Okay, so if your club is starting to go from the top position and the shaft gets more vertical instead of so this is shallowing, this is steepening. The more you go this way, the more you have the over the top motion. It can be two things. It can be the shaft getting more vertical. It can also be the handle pulling this direction. It can also be the hands moving out this way. Going at the ball is okay, just not out. That can cause a severe over the top, which would just make that path too far left. And if you squared your club face up to that path, well left. It'd be straight, it'd just be well left, where your body lines are. Vice versa, if the club gets here on the backswing and then it drops underneath down here too far and the club moves too far this way, you could have it too excessive of a path problem, meaning that it's just dropping too far and swinging away into out. You need to have a golf professional look and see how much it is, if it's too much. But let me say this, here's something interesting. You can actually swing into out and still hit a pull hook. I say that again. You can still start the ball left and swing into out, because what controls where the ball starts? The face angle. 90% of where the ball starts is where the face is aimed. So if I'm swinging into out, let's say 4 degrees, but my face is 2 degrees closed, -2, the ball's going to start closer to that -2 number, start left and go left. Okay? So it's important that you understand that relationship. Okay? What was the other thing I was going to say? So I said face angle, no, starting direction. Well, I said contact, club path, face angle. And attack angle. I guess I'll just talk about attack angle. Yeah, I guess I'll talk about attack angle because I said 4. The final thing is attack angle. So working on your attack angle, actually trying to hit up on it, will make a big difference. So when we're trying to fix that problem, the easiest way to do it is to first look at ball position. Make sure it's on the inside of your left heel. Make sure you have a wide enough stance. If you're too narrow, then you can't move it far enough forward. Okay. The second thing is to what we call reverse K. So you're going to touch your right knee, bump that left hip out. Don't go too far. So stand upright, touch your trail knee, bump that hip out just a little bit, and then you're gonna try to make sure that driver swings up through the ball. If your head goes this direction, it's gonna be hard to swing up. So I'm not saying lean back, don't lean back, but try to keep your head behind the ball, and that's gonna allow that club to come up, and it's gonna allow you to hit it on the upswing, which will get you more distance. That's a little bonus tip for you. Not necessarily to fix direction, but that's a little bonus tip to hit the ball further. I think 90% of amateurs, 99% of amateurs should be hitting up on the ball to maximize distance. There are some tour players that hit down because their swing is designed that way. They don't mind hitting down. They're already hitting it far enough. They know that hitting down on it doesn't help them hit it further. It actually helps them hit it shorter, but they don't need the extra distance, so they don't mind hitting down on it. Okay, but if you're looking for more distance, those tour players want to hit it further, they will hit up on it. They know that. They know that that actually helps them hit the ball further. So amateurs, I'm telling you, it's important to hit the ball far, so hitting up on it is a huge key to hitting it further. I hope you liked this video, guys. I hope that kind of cleared up some of the things to be looking for to correct those big problems with the ball curving too far one direction or the other, or even starting direction. Hope that cleared that up. Make sure to hit subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing videos every week. Sometimes I might even do 2 videos a week, maybe 3 if I have enough time, but definitely I'm committing to 1 video a week. Please hit the notification bell as well to make sure you get notified. Please visit our membership website. I have a partner, his name is JJ Clean. He's played on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's a Korn Ferry Tour Player of the Year. He played on the PGA Tour for I think it was about 1.5 years, I'll have to ask him, maybe it was 2 years. And he's a really good player. He's actually trying to get back on tour right now. We started a membership website called West Texas Driving Range Pros. There's a link below to go to our website to check that out. We have a free guide on how to break 100, 90, or 80. So if you're trying to break 100, 90, or 80, we have a free guide to walk you through those steps on which those benchmarks you need to hit to break those. So it gives you a clear plan on the certain benchmarks you need to hit to get there, so you know where you're going and how to get there first. Okay, it's not covering specific things you need to work on, like swing mechanics wise, but it's going to tell you the stats you need to be looking at to get to that level. And so therefore you can see if you're working on the right thing. So check that out. That's a free guide for you. We're excited about this channel. This is episode 1 of our vlog. Super pumped. If you have any questions, let us know. Please shoot us a comment as well. Let us know what you think. If you want us to shoot any specific videos, please let us know. Let me know what you're struggling with. Maybe I can respond with a comment, kind of help you out. See you in the next video.